Rise and shine for National Biscuit Month with Hardee's famous buttermilk biscuits. Made with love from scratch, baked fresh all morning. It's not the easy way, but it's the right way. Hardee's, goodness in the making.
You think life is short? Football is short. So cherish every over and under before it's over on FanDuel.
America's #1 sportsbook is heading to Kentucky. Get $100 in bonus bets when you sign up today. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
Some luxury creams just sit on top of skin, but Olay goes 10 surface layers deep. Our clinically proven hydration beats the $500 cream to strengthen my skin for smoother, brighter results. Your best skin yet. Olay.
Everyone loves more of a good thing.
More.
And Miss Moore was no different. As her name suggested, she loved more.
More?
So when Miss Moore was injured, she called Morgan & Morgan. With more lawyers, more offices, and more than $15 billion recovered, she didn't have to ask for more anymore. When you're injured, you deserve more.
One more.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Hardee's 2 for $5 breakfast bake goodness into your morning. Choose a biscuit with sausage and egg, biscuit and gravy, or French toast tips. Any two, just $5. Hardee's, goodness in the making. Get exclusive offers on the Hardee's app.
Inside Edition, weekdays at 4:30 on LEX 18. Count on LEX 18 News.
Good afternoon, I'm Sean Moody, and coming up on LEX 18 News at 4, an update on the United Auto Workers strike and how it could impact Kentucky workers. Plus, how new moms can check their blood pressure by using their phone. And paying back student loans can be very stressful, but there are some ways to help ease the anxiety. We've got some tips for planning ahead. LEX 18 News at 4 starts now.
Christiana Ford in Jefferson County at Ford Motor Company's Kentucky truck plant. This is one of 2 locations Ford Motor Company has in Louisville, Kentucky, and these locations are not on strike. Even as the union is undergoing negotiations with Ford Motor Company, among the other big 3 companies, they say that work resumed as normal here with the day shift starting at 6 a.m., but the local union chapter 862 says that their workers, more than 11,000 of them, are prepared and ready whenever the union says it's their time if they make that decision.
I'm Ricky Sayer in Moorhead. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson was in town today to take a look at this. It's a dish at Moorhead State University, and it's a critical part of the system NASA uses to be able to communicate with satellites. And today, Congressman Hal Rogers announced an effort to try to get more funding to this entire program.
I'm Michael Burke in Lexington, where it was Friendly Friday at Mill Creek Elementary School. Members of the Tates Creek High School football team were here to greet the young students as they arrived. In the morning, one player told me he was basically them at that age, looking up to the players back then. So when his coach said to do this type of community-driven event, he jumped at the chance. Tates plays Bryan Station tonight, and the kids were given a free pass to come to the game and cheer from the sideline.
We all know the power of music, the emotion we feel from just one song. Mike Rogers in Danville is spreading that emotion to people all around the world via social media, sharing a story of love and a story of heartbreak. Mike's been playing the piano since he was 6 years old. Nearly 70 years he has playing the keys like a master at this point. A Vietnam veteran, someone who's very deep in his faith. He's traveled all around the world, music always in some way following him. His kids recently encouraged him to go onto TikTok with his music, amassing millions of views in just a few short weeks. It comes at a time of healing for Mike after his wife Debbie unexpectedly passed away in July. 52 years of marriage gone in a blink of an eye. It's been painful for Mike, and he's been able to share that pain with so many other people going through similar heartbreak, and it's making people feel better. The story of Mike and Debbie helping heal people around the world with every single note.
All right, now to your full forecast at 4. Chief Meteorologist Bill Mack joins me today. Bill, it's been just an amazing stretch of weather. Beautiful. We're going to have a little bit of rain coming.
Yeah, typical fall weather through the week. It's been glorious. Yeah. Now we get you to the weekend. Not so glorious.
Right, always the case, huh?
Get to that in just a sec. First, you look here on the Max Track Live Doppler. Nothing going on your Friday afternoon. It is absolutely terrific. So, looking ahead, an absolutely glorious night for the high school games. Sure. all the games not to have a noon kickoff tomorrow, because at noon, weather's going to be fantastic. 7 o'clock, a little more iffy. And summer resurgence, it is coming for us next week. So talking about the high school games tonight, you're headed out to one. Great start to the evening. A little tiny crescent moon will be out there for you. Temperature right around 70 at kickoff. Mid-60s, enjoy the bands at halftime. It'll be a wonderful night. And then low 60s at the end of the game. Headed to the UK game. 4 o'clock temperature will be somewhere around 80. You'll see those temperatures on the decline. Then 5, 6 o'clock still in the upper 70s. Should be in the upper 60s by the time the game is ending. You notice there are rain chances that do sneak in there as we head into the evening hours tomorrow. There's another cool start to the day today. Low and mid 40s for a lot of folks. Owensville is 46, Richmond 45, so is Danville. Other folks were in the 50s, 54 out of Monticello, 54 on the south side of Lexington. High temperatures tomorrow. You're looking at the 81 in Versailles, 79 in Paris, 78 in Richmond. We head down to the lakes, a little cooler. The clouds are going to be thicker. So you're looking at temperatures mid 70s there at Monticello and London, 74 each. Mount Vernon comes in at 76. We head over to the southeast, 77 out of Hazard, 78 Jackson McKee at 74. And in the east, again, a little more sunshine, lasts a little longer up closer to the river. Maysville 82, Mount Sterling 77, so is Campton. Nice and warm, though, as we head toward the end of September. It looks like overall it's a pretty warm pattern coming in. We've got high pressure sliding off to the east tonight. We've got Lee continuing to spin out in the Atlantic, and a cold front's coming at us. So what happens? We go through the night tonight, everything's fine. Tomorrow morning, we're going to begin to see the clouds coming up from the south on the backside of that high. There's your rain chances, more south than north, more east than west as we get you into tomorrow afternoon. There's 5 o'clock. We roll then through the game time, and again, just scattered showers around, more east then west, and then as we get you on into Sunday. Now here comes your cold front. That's going to be the primary weather maker on Sunday, and with it, you are looking at showers and thunder showers around, especially the afternoon hours on Sunday, and those will carry us on into Sunday night before setting up another great week next week. We continue to watch Lee, still a Category 1 hurricane, but becoming much more disorganized as it moves over the colder waters of the North Atlantic. Still with an impact, looks like it's going to be, well, it'll be impacting the coastal areas of New England. A target looks like going right at the Bay of Fundy there into Nova Scotia, and then eventually on out into the North Atlantic. All righty, our forecast for tonight. Nice and clear. Seasonably cool, but the evening is going to be wonderful. Low 50s overnight tonight. Your day tomorrow, one that'll start with sunshine, but the clouds will increase, especially south and east. There are going to be rain chances in the afternoon, again, especially south and east. You also notice the normal high down to 80. High temperature tomorrow, we're forecasting 81, so at least it's a little bit above normal. All right, Sunday, little sun, but showers and thunderstorms are going to be scattered around, so have Plan B ready to go on Sunday. It's not a washout of a day, though. And then we get you into next week. It dries out, and it starts getting hot with temperatures getting into the mid-80s by the end of the week.
Thousands are dead from massive flooding in Libya caused by Mediterranean storm Daniel, and even more are still missing. So how is it possible that one storm can claim so many lives? The city of Darna, on the coast in northeastern Libya, has suffered some of the worst impacts. Online and satellite images showed the extent of the damage in the city, with entire city blocks disappearing overnight. This September 13th satellite imagery, provided by Planet Labs, is one of the clearest ways to see just how much of the city was destroyed. In the before and after imagery, you can see just how much of Darna's buildings were simply washed away by the massive flooding. Zooming in on one part of the imagery, we can see how one building, the 7-story tall beach tower, was sheared in half by the floodwaters. A video from the ground shared on X shows how much of the tower and surrounding buildings were destroyed. The massive floodwaters that swept through the city are believed to have been the result of 2 dams upstream from Darna collapsing after heavy rain from the Mediterranean storm. The dams appear to have broken in the middle of the night. Residents likely had little time, if any, to react. In one video shared online, you can see the collapsed dam in the morning after the flooding devastated the city.
The 2 dams, like the 2 dams of the city, they were supposed to be repaired like 2 years ago. There was some water lack in the 2 dams, but like no one said nothing about it. No one did nothing about it.
Search and rescue efforts are ongoing, with members of the Libyan National Army using bulldozers, helicopters, and diggers to attempt to clear out the mud that is covering much of Darna's streets. The efforts are complicated by the fact that Libya is technically under two administrations, split between the UN-backed government in the west and the military government of Marshal Khalifa Haftar in the east, where Darna is. Despite past hostilities, though, there's been solidarity between the two sides on ensuring aid reaches those who need it most in the flood-ravaged parts of eastern Libya. Countries like the United States, France, Turkey, Italy, and Germany are now sending aid and assistance. Jake Godin, Scripps News, Washington.
Judge Pamela Goodwine announces she will run for the Kentucky Supreme Court next year. Judge Goodwine is on the Court of Appeals, which serves multiple counties, including Fayette. She will officially file to run once this campaign season is over and the 2024 election cycle opens up in early November. Police have charged a man who is already in jail accused of robberies in Frankfort for 3 more robberies in Lexington. 22-year-old Maurice Curry faces several charges, including robbery and assault. The robberies happened last Sunday. The first happened at the LEX Liquor on Richmond Road just after midnight. Police say Curry was armed and assaulted a worker during that robbery. A few hours later, investigators said he robbed the Speedway on Tates Creek Road, also assaulting an employee there. And then a few hours after that, police said Curry mugged 2 people outside a gas station on Abigail Way. Police say their real-time intelligence center and the Flock license plate reader system helped them ID him. He was also arrested in Franklin County in connection to robbing 3 stores in Frankfort that same day. Today marks 60 years since one of the darkest moments in U.S. history. On this day in 1963, 3 members of the Ku Klux Klan bombed a church in Birmingham, Alabama. 4 black girls were killed in that attack. They were preparing for Sunday services when the explosion happened. That bombing shocked the conscience of the nation during the height of the civil rights movement. The Birmingham mayor says although that attack happened decades ago, the same racial hatred still exists in our country.
Anytime people walk into dollar stores or grocery stores and kill multiple people who happen to be black in the name of racism and hate, that tells me that as a country, we, not just through laws, but through our own moral compass, have a very long way to go.
Today, the city of Birmingham will hold several events to remember the victims of the attack. Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson will deliver a keynote speech. The U.S. economy is facing another headache. In addition to the United Auto Workers Union strike and ongoing inflation concerns, the threat of yet another potential government shutdown is looming, and the deadline is getting closer by the minute. President Joe Biden, while promoting his namesake economics policy, Bidenomics, is blasting the Republicans for what he calls MAGAnomics. The White House says Congress should move forward with the bipartisan agreement voted on and approved earlier this year.
A deal is a deal. They should keep their word, and they should keep the government open.
What we're basically proposing is that there's no travel money. There'll be an automatic renewal of a continuing resolution every 2 weeks until we get a solution.
The White House wants Congress to pass a short-term measure while negotiations continue, but the GOP doesn't seem inclined to do that. A government shutdown would start October 1st if a new bill isn't passed.
Former President Donald Trump spoke out on his critics, both Democrats and conservatives, who question his bid for the White House in 2024. In an interview with Megyn Kelly on SiriusXM, Trump told the former Fox News host that he never mandated vaccines, defending his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic.
I never got, I think, the credit that I deserve on COVID.
Trump sought to draw a distinction against his handling of the pandemic versus GOP presidential challenger, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
I let the governors run their states, and many of the governors opened up their states. Some of them didn't. Florida, by the way, was closed. No mandates. I don't want mandates. I never had mandates. Florida sort of had a mandate.
Kelly pressed Trump on his handling of classified documents after leaving the White House, for which he has since been indicted. The former president adamantly defended his handling of the documents, telling Kelly he broke no laws.
I did nothing wrong because I come under the Presidential Records Act.
Trump said it's fair game for House Republicans to look into impeaching President Biden. Trump was impeached twice while in office.
They did it to me, and had they not done it to me, I think, and nobody officially said this, but I think had they not done it to me, then I'm very popular in the region. They like me and I like them, the Republican Party. Perhaps you wouldn't have it being done to them.
Trump also spoke to Kristen Welker, the new moderator of NBC News Meet the Press. Welker asked Trump if he was convicted and in the White House, would he pardon himself?
I was given an option to pardon myself. I could have pardoned myself when I left. People said, would you like to pardon yourself? I had a couple of attorneys that said, you can do it if you want. I had some people that said it would look bad if you do it, because I think it would look terrible. I said, the last thing I'd ever do is give myself a pardon.
It's that time for people to get ready to pay their student loans back. Remy Murray is in Cleveland, Ohio, talking to experts about how best to plan ahead.
Everything I tried, it just don't seem to help. It's really overwhelming.
In less than 3 weeks, student loan payments will begin once again for people like Frank Strobel.
You're paying it back with your life, it feels like.
So far, Strobel says the return has been giving him a lot of anxiety, mainly because he feels he's not getting enough information.
Try to contact people via phone, email. I get like runarounds.
And he's not alone. Scott Pugliese says he's experiencing problems too.
It's been awful. Awful. Almost like everybody else I talked to. The information out there is all over the place.
Teresa Murray, who is a consumer watchdog with U.S. Public Interest Research Group in Cleveland, tells me these issues are happening due to the millions of people who are trying to get help before next month. Murray also says budget cuts to the Department of Education's finances are making things difficult too.
They've been told to reduce their staffing, reduce their hours, not supposed to have evening and weekend hours that they would normally have. And then you have a lot of the servicers whose contracts actually expired during the pandemic.
To make matters worse, Murray says scammers are aware of the challenges borrowers are experiencing. So she says some people could be at risk.
Don't pay anybody to help you figure out a repayment plan or delay your payments or anything like that, because you don't have to pay to get help.
Murray also advises against using a search engine to type in the name of your provider or student loan help, because she says there are imposter websites trying to steal your information. Some other tips Murray recommends is for people to look up their student loan servicer on studentaid.gov because it may have changed. Secondly, she says it's best for people to call early and to even record the conversation because people like Pugliese are experiencing long wait times.
A very long time, yeah, hour and a half. So just talking to like my bank, talking to student consolidation companies, trying to talk with the government program. So yeah, it's been ridiculous.
Finally, Murray says don't ignore your debt and to make sure all of your information is accurate and easily accessible.
Normally, the servicers are dealing with like a few million people a month in a normal month, and now it's like 40 million people are trying to call and get through and get answers. And it's just a hot mess.
LEX 18 shines its spotlight on Berea. All this week, we've showcased this hidden gem in the heart of Kentucky. And Friday night, we'll take you live to the annual Spoonbread Festival. Spotlight on Berea, Friday at 7 on Evening Edition.
LEX 18 News is sponsored by West Shore Home.
We all want our kids to have a future here in Kentucky. That's why I'm working hard to bring more jobs here. Companies big and small are setting up all over Kentucky, revitalizing communities and creating thousands of good-paying jobs. Over 46,000 more jobs than we had before COVID. Unemployment has never been lower, and we've helped hundreds of businesses launch or expand. This is Kentucky's future. Our economy is on fire. Let's keep it going.
I'm a bus monitor to school systems. I had a preschooler come up to me and ask me why I look like a vampire. It made me feel so sad and upset. For years, I didn't go to the dentist because I was terrified, and I've had a lot of bad experience in the dentist offices. I don't smile no more. I feel like I'm being laughed at everywhere I go, and I just lost self-confidence. I'm 53 years old, and I want a new life.
Stacy came to us with a lot of protruding teeth, a lot of extensive decay, a lot of non-restorable teeth. There are not many practices in the Bluegrass state that can handle a case like hers. Okay, time for the big smile reveal. Are you excited?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and take a good look, okay?
Oh, great. Awesome.
That looks so good. To see Stacy smile, she hasn't smiled like that in years. That's what brought me into dentistry, to change one smile at a time.
Can I give you a hug?
Yes, thanks for really
Thank you so much.
No problem. I'm happy to help you.
Did you know that Cartown Kia has one of the largest pre-owned inventories in the region? And did you know that we source vehicles from all over the country? Not only will we pay top dollar for your trade, we'll buy from you, even if you don't buy from us. So stop in today for a quick and easy appraisal. And while you're here, check out the new Kias arriving daily. There's never been a better time to upgrade your ride. Visit Cartown Kia or shop anytime at cartownkiausa.com.
You're not getting older, you're getting better. So make the most of the best years of your life with LEX 18 Senior Lifestyle. Health tips, financial planning, and inspiring stories. Sponsored by Preston Green Senior Living.
Take the most trusted name in local weather with you everywhere you go. Download the free LEX 18 Storm Tracker weather app today. You're watching LEX 18 News at 4.
We do so much with our phones on any given day. But now a new text messaging service that's helping new moms get blood pressure information directly to their doctors could help prevent postpartum depression. Giving birth comes with all kinds of excitement and challenges.
It's chaos, I think, is like the only way to say it.
Elizabeth Zulik is no stranger to being a mom. She has a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and now a 4-month-old. Life can often be exhausting.
I'm at that stage of life where I'm really like bare minimum of everything. Like, I'm not a great friend. I'm not a great mom. I'm not a great worker. It's just kind of this like kind of doing it all at once and like getting by, but not like excelling in any of these things.
With her parental leave time quickly coming to an end, she told me anxiety is already setting in. Zulik has never been diagnosed with postpartum depression, but talks to her therapist regularly to help juggle life's ups and downs.
There's still a lot of guilt around, feeling like you're choosing a career over kids.
But it turns out there may be more help out there for new moms like Zulik, right on their cell phones.
Obviously, it's a really challenging time period for a lot of new moms.
That is Dr. Adi Hirschberg. She studies maternal fetal medicine at Penn Medicine in Philadelphia. Hirschberg and her colleagues have spent the last few years helping moms who have recently given birth keep track of their blood pressure. They give new moms a blood pressure monitor, then send a text message to those moms every day, asking them to send their blood pressure numbers back.
You can sort of do this anywhere, especially from your home or from the car. Really, you just like check your blood pressure, text it back, and you're going to find out right away what the results are.
What they found was that new mothers with high blood pressure who participated in the postpartum remote blood pressure monitoring project were less likely to have complications and hospitalizations after giving birth, because doctors could treat issues early. In some cases, high blood pressure is associated with postpartum depression. But most new moms with high blood pressure are asymptomatic, Hirschberg says, and don't know anything is wrong.
We hope it, makes life easier for them. But we hope that it also empowers them to pay attention to their health as well in a really challenging time period after delivery.
An estimated 85% of new moms in this country will experience some kind of postpartum blues. While the National Institutes of Health say most women recover quickly, others can develop long-term health issues.
They're so focused on taking care of their baby, they don't realize that they also need treatment for their own health.
Do you feel like sometimes maybe you're looking out for the kids' needs more than your own sometimes, just, your own personal health?
1,000,000%. I mean, I think, some days I'll be like, I don't think I've eaten anything today.
For new moms like Elizabeth Zulik, it could mean one less thing to worry about while trying to juggle it all. Chris Conti, Scripps News, Philadelphia.
This is my house. My parents helped build it. Now we don't get wet when it rains. I don't get too hot or too cold inside. And I don't have to worry when the winds blow. This is my house. This is my house. This is my house. This is my house. My house. My house. I can play with my sister. I can play with my brother. I can play with my mother, my father, my family. My family. My family. This is my house. This is my house. I can study. I can be safe with my family. This is my house. This is my house. This is my house. This is my house. My house. My house.
This is my house.
Visit Habitat.org to find out how you can help more families like mine have a safe, decent place to call home.
When I was in Iraq, our convoy was hit. It was bad. After I came home, I could still hear booms and see tracer fire. Makes it hard to be a good mom.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Naomi Mathis, Air Force veteran.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories great and small.
With help from DAV, I was able to begin to heal.
DAV provides a lifetime of support to veterans of every generation, helping more than 1 million veterans each year.
Today, I'm part of DAV. We're veterans helping veterans to get the benefits they've earned. And I give my veterans my all.
But there's more to be done and more victories to be won.
My victory is being able to be here for my children.
Naomi Mathis, thank you for your service. May your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
In times of war, peace, and every day in between, our military stays vigilant to protect our country. At Hope for the Warriors, we never forget them or the families who serve alongside them. Since 2006, Hope for the Warriors has provided life-transforming programs for active duty and veterans, military families and caregivers, families of the fallen. Go to hopeforthewarriors.org to give hope today.
Live look from Keeneland. Beautiful afternoon out there. You are seeing the sunshine. Notice how dry it is in the infield, but the turf course where they water, that looks good. Future track, let's go through the night tonight. Everything is fine. It's a great evening. Clouds start increasing as we get you into tomorrow, especially mid to late morning on. More clouds south and east. Also rain chances south and east for us tomorrow. Better chances there. As we continue then into the afternoon and evening, you're going to see those rain chances lingering. A lot of pollen in the air, so you may be sniffling and sneezing. That's ragweed for you. Temperatures will start out in the 50s. We finish off close to 80 with that chance of rain.
Continuing our Spotlight on Berea series this week, there's going to be a lot of spoon bread sold in the city throughout the weekend, and somebody's got to make it all. LEX 18 photojournalist Alex Barber introduces us to the students at Ignite Academy who are brushing up their culinary skills by helping feed visitors to the Spoon Bread Festival.
Right now we're making the batter for the spoon bread. And on the day of the festival, they're going to add eggs to it and then bake it to make it into the actual spoon bread.
It's really cool getting to see the behind the scenes of, how much love and preparation goes into the spoon bread.
I like exposing my students.
Your turn.
I like people seeing what they're capable of. I'm just proud of them. They take it, they run with it, they see what needs to be done, and they do it.
And we hope you'll join us tonight at 7 for a special evening edition. We'll be live at the Spoon Bread Festival to wrap up our Spotlight on Berea series. We hope you'll join us at 7. Thanks for watching. We'll see you right back here in a half hour for LEX 18 News at 5.
LEX 18, streaming local news 24/7. Search for LEX 18 on your device.
Join LEX 18 in downtown Paris for the Bluegrass Federal Pumpkin Festival, Saturday, September 16th, with food, fun, live music all day, and the 6th annual Hunt Brothers Cornhole Championship. Find out more at protect.org.
When Daniel Cameron says he absolutely supports bringing back Matt Bevin's ruthless Medicaid plan, Cameron threatens to take away coverage from over 95,000 Kentuckians and punish working parents.
This sounds very similar to something that Governor Matt Bevin tried.
Well, absolutely.
But when Cameron said he'd back Bevin's war on teachers and take taxpayer money from public schools to give to private schools instead, he'd punish Kentucky's kids. Cameron's absolutely wrong for Kentucky.